Before the season began, Ansonia coach Jack Hunt stated that the opening 2 games on the schedule would be critical hurdles for his inexperienced team. Last weekend in Waterbury, the Chargers managed to hold on and defeat NVL rival Holy Cross 14-6 in their opener. All-Stater Kevin Sharkey led the way for Ansonia with well over 100 yards rushing and 1 touchdown. Shelton coach Tony Branca has devoted extra time in practice this week on establishing a running game, something that was missing in the Gales' opening game loss to Seymour. Joining junior quarterback Dan Field in the backfield will be senior running backs Mark Sapkowski and R.J. Rondini. From Finn Stadium in Shelton, it's Ansonia against Shelton in an intra-valley matchup on Valley Cablevision's High School Football Game of the Week. Hello again, everyone. Ed Clements along with Buddy Chernovitz from Finn Stadium in Shelton. Buddy, Coach Tony Branca feels that he has to stop Ansonia's 2 top running backs, Kevin Sharkey and Dennis Tinney.
Not a bad decision. They're excellent football players. Sharkey coming off an all-state season. Tinney can carry the ball. He's got excellent speed, and they're certainly going to have to work hard to keep these young men from getting 100 yards, which is probably their average in this game.
Now, on the other hand, when I talk to Coach Hunt, he uses words like, well, we can't run out of the wishbone anymore. Ansonia just can't do that anymore. We have to go run and shoot. We have to open it up. We have to pass the ball additionally.
I have not seen an Ansonia team that couldn't do anything that they wanted to. They've got some excellent young men. I know they're limited a little bit in the offensive line, but they can run the football as good as any football team. And Shelton is really going to be pressed to stop that running game and to create some turnovers and to get some field position for their offense.
Now let's talk a little bit about the Gales and the lack of the running game last week. All week long in practice, Coach Tony Branca has had as a high priority that running game because they need to run the football a lot better than they did against Seymour.
High school teams have to have that running attack in order to be consistent, and Shelton has really had to work on it. They had some tough times in their scrimmages, as we talked about last week. They have not had consistency on offense, especially in the run game, and that's something that's going to have to be there today if they're going to be successful against Ansonia.
All right, knowing both programs, what do you see as the key to the game?
I think turnovers are going to be a key in field position for this one. It's going to be an interesting matchup because you can toss out records in this one. It's a Valley rivalry, and the kids just play against each other with great intensity. So it's going to go right down to the wire, I think, and be a close football game.
And we'll be right back with Shelton Ansonia football right after these messages. Welcome back, everyone, and we're moments away from the opening kickoff. Valley Cablevision's Cable 10 Sports Valley High School Football Game of the Week. Ansonia won the opening coin toss, and they deferred their option to the second half, and the Shelton Gales will receive the opening kickoff. Jamar Kelly teeing up the football will kick off for Ansonia. Back deep for the Gales, R.J. Rondini along with Alan Keklick. Valley rivalry between Ansonia and Shelton, a non-league game, but a game that means an awful lot to both these high school programs. Early on in the season, Ansonia, of course, 1-0. Their opening game win over Holy Cross of Waterbury. Shelton, in our Cable 10 Sports Valley High School Football Game of the Week last week, losers to Seymour. Kelly's kick low, coming down to about the 30-yard line and fielded by one of the upmen from Shelton and brought up to the 37-yard line, where the Shelton Gales will go on offense. The tackle for Ansonia by Jeff Press. Let's take a look now at that Shelton Gale offense. Football marked at about the 38-yard line, just underway from here at Finn Stadium. A beautiful night for high school football. Gales open up in that I set. The fullback is Sapkowski. Now they switch off in a lone back offense and a double wing formation on 1st and 10 for the Gales. The quarterback is Field. He gives to the lone setback. That is Sapkowski. He's tripped up behind the line of scrimmage by Mike Prosnick, middle linebacker for the Ansonia Chargers. Let's take a look now at that Ansonia defense.
basically a 50 front with the 2 linebackers and a monster, 3 deep. Held Holy Cross to 6 points last week, and this week they're looking to continue that tough defensive front.
2nd and 10 for the Gales at about their 37.5-yard line, just underway from here at Finn Stadium. The quarterback is the junior. Field gives it to Subkaski for some good yardage through the center of the line, and Mark gets close to his own 45-yard line before he's dragged down by Carl Barrett.
They come with a little bit of a trap. You'll see the step back behind the block of the guard into the secondary, and pretty good yardage on a 2nd down play for Subkaski. Brings up about a 3rd and 4. Shelton trying to improve on that running game and to establish their ability to run inside on that Ansonia front.
There's an official's timeout on the field. Earlier, Buddy had a chance to talk with Shelton coach Tony Branca, and he asked the coach what changes he had made after the Seymour game.
Well, basically what we did, Bud, was go back to fundamentals. We made a few offensive line changes. We feel that we have to effectively run the ball, and that's something that we didn't do last week. Conversely, we have to be able to stop the running game. So we made a few changes in that aspect of the football game. And we've had a very good week of practice, and we hope to look a lot better than we did last week.
Welcome back, everyone. 3rd and short for the Gales at their 44. They give it to Rondini, and Rondini picks up the 1st down and gets into Ansonia territory to about the 48 before he's taken down by Don Plummer.
Rondini will follow the fullback inside on a blast play. Subkaski leading, and then Rondini finds an excellent hole. Picks up the necessary yardage for that 1st down, and Shelton inside the Ansonia Charger territory, about the 48-yard line, as Coach Branca there. Very happy with that consistency early on that running game.
So the Gales have the game's initial 1st down. I formation, 2 wideouts to the left side. RJ again cracks over the 45-yard line before he's taken down by Captain Kevin Sharkey.
This time they come with the blast to the outside off tackle. Pretty good job of the fullback leading through, creating that hole for Rondini as he picks up about 5 on that 1st down carry. Something that the Chargers or that the Gales were not able to do last week was run that football, especially inside against the Seymour Wildcats. They're doing very well in this 1st possession.
2nd down, 2nd and 6 for the Gales, just inside the Ansonia 45, and we're just underway. We're at Finn Stadium under the lights. Rondini, left side, has the 1st down as he cracks across the Ansonia 40-yard line. Dennis Tinney in the secondary on the tackle.
Off tackle blast, fullback just kicks the end out. You see at the top of your picture. Leads on through for big yardage as Rondini's down around the 40-yard line with an excellent carry for that 2nd 1st down of this series. And the Chargers are moving the football. Excuse me, the Gales are moving the football very well in this 1st series.
The orange and black, another official's timeout, and Buddy caught up with Coach Hunt, and he asked the coach of Ansonia after evaluating the game film what kind of grade he gave his Ansonia team.
Well, the thing I was worried about mostly going into the year was, the performance of our defense. We have we rebuilt our whole defense, and I was really impressed with the way they played Friday night. They got that one score late in the half on an error, but for the most part, the defense played real well, especially the up front people.
Welcome back, everyone. 1st down for the Gales. 2 successive 1st downs to open up the football game. Subkaski is the fullback. The tailback is Rondini. And the give is to Subkaski for some tough yardage off the left side of the Ansonia interior. In on the stop.
Subkaski will come on a trap right over the guard. The left guard just tries to break it back to the far sideline. Good job inside by the nose for Ansonia Pacheco as he stopped that initial surge. And
also in on the tackle for Ansonia, defensive end Fred Pettit. 2nd and 9 coming up for the Gales. All on the ground thus far for Coach Tony Branca's team. As I say it, field goes to the air as a receiver out there. It is broken up by Sharkey. Aldo was the intended receiver at the 5-yard line.
Field threw an excellent pass as the down, out, and up pattern to this near sideline. Sharkey turns and makes a great play here as he prevents the reception, bringing up a 3rd down and about 9, a definite throwing situation for the Gales. early in the first quarter of football.
Line of scrimmage is the Ansonia 36-yard line. 3rd and 9. Play action. And field goes down. Pressure from Sean Thomas.
Eddie, they come out on the bootleg that time, and Sean Thomas was unblocked. Got into the backfield and dropped field for a big loss. Will probably bring up a punt situation, but there's a penalty marker down on that play. We'll see what Kevin Woods, the referee, has. And it's going to be a big one against Ansonia. And a big one against Shelton. It'll wipe it out. 15-yard personal fouls offsetting, so it will bring up a 4th down situation.
So with the football at the Ansonia 44-yard line, the Gales will punt the football away. Back deep for Ansonia will be Tinney along with Sharkey. And let's see if RJ does the punting. RJ was rested this past week during practice, did not do a lot of kicking, but he really handles he usually handles all of the Shelton kicking. RJ, in fact, will be punting the football away to snap from center. And a short punt. It's going to be rolling out of bounds on the far sidelines, and we'll spot it for you in a moment. But we'll tell you right now that our score is no score. We're scoreless here, and let's take this time out. Welcome back, everyone. Well, Ansonia has the football, their first possession. Let's take a look now at that Ansonia offense. Of course, in the backfield, led by All-Stater Kevin Sharkey. First down for Ansonia. The pitch, Sharkey trying to get around outside and contain, and Sharkey picks up some good yardage on first down before he's hemmed in and taken down by Subkaski.
Great block made on the defensive end here as Sharkey comes to the corner. He's going to get taken down right there. He was held, there's no doubt about it. Freed Sharkey for a big first down game, but he was held by the offensive end, and then the fullback grabbed him down. But I'll tell you, it gives you a good corner if you can get rid of that guy, and they did.
Well, Sharkey picks up the first down. We'll take a look at that Shelton defense when we get a chance to. The give again to Kevin Sharkey, the tailback, fights his way to the 35-yard line. Let's take a look now at that Shelton Gale defense.
The defense is going to be tested today, especially with Sharkey carrying the football. They want to get him the ball 25 to 35 times. You can key on him, but it's one thing to key on him. You still got to be able to tackle him, and he's got great breakaway speed and can run tough inside, so he's got all of the assets of a great football player.
Alan Keklik in on the last tackle. Second down, 2nd and 6 to football at the 35. First quarter action, Finn Stadium in Shelton, Cable 10 Sports, Valley High School football game of the week. Sharkey again off the right side, a good hole. And Sharkey is dragged down close to midfield. A flag is dropped in the Ansonia backfield, and I would believe that's going to go against Ansonia. Alan Keklik eventually made the tackle.
It's going to be a holding penalty right at the point of attack. We saw when they ran their first down play that they did hold. You're going to see the same thing here as Sharkey breaks through. There's a hold right there at the defensive end position. Free Sharkey into the secondary, but it'll be brought back, and it'll be a 15-yarder against the Chargers. Bring up a 2nd and very long for them.
So with the holding penalty assessed against the Chargers, the football is moved back to the Ansonia 23, and Ansonia has that 2nd and long. They have to get up to the 41-yard line for a first down. And Lester wants to put it up on 2nd down. Throws it out, incomplete. It was intended for Carl Barrett. Andy Aldo on the Shelton coverage.
Barrett will come out from the wide out position, just run a turnout. Aldo does a good job on covers. The ball is not thrown well as he has to stop. Barrett has to stop and then cannot hold on to it as he tries to reach back for it. Brings up a big 3rd down, and for Ansonia, it's a screen type situation for them. They like to screen on 3rd and long, but it's a passing situation right here, or a draw type play.
Out to the left side, in for Carl Barrett at wide receiver is Keith Soldra. Lester wants to put it up over the middle, has a receiver out there. It is caught by Soldra. into Shelton territory down to the 45-yard line. There is another flag dropped on the field at the Ansonia 40.
I think that's going to go against Shelton. They whacked the guy before the ball got to him, the inside receiver. As you see the ball being thrown here, watch the right over the middle before it gets to the intended receiver. Right there is a hit, and he was not the intended receiver, but he was certainly hit before the ball got to him, and they'll just pick that up and give the first down to the Ansonia Chargers. Excellent throw and catch from Lester to number 10, Keith Solder. Great catch, big play for the Chargers early in this football game here with 6:29 left to go in the first quarter.
Solder, a 5'8", 125-pound senior wide receiver. Buddy, you and I have talked about the fact you don't have to be that big to play this football game.
Not in high school.
Pitch out, Sharkey trying to cut it outside. Down the sidelines, and he did step out of bounds at about the 40. Alan Kecklick forced him out at that point.
Got to check 25 for Vaseline, because the way he's running, they're not grabbing him and they're not putting their shoulder into him. He doesn't give you much area to hit. Comes on the outside pitch, the fullback leads. He gets a good block, knocks down the inside tackle and defensive end. And then Sharkey just performs his magic. Look at the movement on his lower body as he gives people very little to hit, and then sidesteps down the sidelines, breaks the tackles all the way down, and luckily for the Gales, he stepped out of bounds.
Two wideouts either side of the field. The give is to the up back, the fullback. That is Robbie Clark, who's been inserted at the fullback position this week. Jay Kleineck on the tackle from his defensive tackle spot.
If Ansonia can get some consistency out of that fullback position, it's going to increase the effectiveness of Kevin Sharkey.
Buddy, their game against Holy Cross, they did not have the effectiveness out of that fullback spot. And Coach Hunt said during the week, they've got to have the fullback as part of that offense.
Yeah, he's going to take some pressure off Kevin and allow that, or force that defense to play tough inside and not be able to get outside to try and take the corners away from Sharkey.
Now there's the pitch to Sharkey, cuts it back in, and now goes outside does Kevin Sharkey as he crosses the 35 to about the 33. Alan Kecklick again from the secondary.
Ansonia is running that student body left and student body right. Sharkey is a big part of the student body as he just runs for daylight. He reads blocks very well, excellent block on the defensive end, and then he just gets into the secondary, and he is, again, very difficult to bring down, as you see Sipkowski and Rondini, along with others, trying to corral him and bring him down.
First down for Ansonia at the 33. Guess who? Sharkey. This time he is stopped by Kleineck. Kleineck knifed through and caught Sharkey before he could get started.
Kleineck will come through a gap and then just grab Sharkey before he gets to the line of scrimmage. An excellent play by Jay, the senior, 6'2", 215-pounder. Ansonia actually lost the yard on that one, and it brings up a 2nd and 11.
Football at the Shelton 34. First quarter action. We're scoreless here in this intra-valley rivalry. Well, Lester wants to put it up. Pumps, now throws downfield, has Barrett out there. It is caught for a touchdown. Carl Barrett juggled the football and then gathered it back in and went into the end zone.
Andy Aldo is going to hit himself tomorrow morning because he was on the play. He just jumped a little early. Lester comes back. He has excellent protection and then just throws the ball before the break. Look at Aldo right there. He jumps and just does not get the football. Great reception that time by number 85, the senior, 6', 165-pounder, Carl Barrett. And a big touchdown early here for the Chargers in this football game.
And Buddy, doing the place kicking for Ansonia is a young man, an exchange student from Italy, Mauro Frialia. Older is Kevin Sharkey. And it's wide to the right side. No good, and our score is Ansonia 6 and Shelton nothing.
Great jive by the Chargers. They started around their own 20-yard line and just moved the football down the field. Sharkey and the passing of quarterback Rich Lester as he throws here. We'll see before Barrett makes the break, and then Aldo just unable to get the fingertips on the football. A juggling catch Great concentration, and the 6 points for the Chargers. Look at the concentration. He never took his eyes off the football. Great coaching tip for you young guys out there. You never take your eye off the ball until you tuck it away.
In your picture, Kelly will be kicking the football away. Back deep for the Gales, Rondini along with Keklik. So Ansonia has scored first here at Finn Stadium on a sustained march.
First offensive possession they put in the end zone. We're going to have to see how the Gales react now in their next drive and possession, because they've got to keep their hands, or the hands of those Chargers, off that football.
That's Keklik with the football. Alan Keklik to about the 30-yard line on the far side of the field. Dennis Titty on the tackle for Ansonia.
The ball is kicked down. Keklik picks it up, and then he'll just run the far sideline. A couple good moves here to get down near the 40 or 30-yard line before he's tripped up and brought to the ground.
Let's see where the spot is. The football is at the 30-yard line. The Shelton Gale 34 minutes and change left here in the first quarter. Ansonia leads it 6-0. Hand off inside. That's to the tri-captain Subkaski before he's tied up by middle linebacker Robbie Clark for Ansonia. As we mentioned before, Buddy, it's very important that Shelton establish that running game. They moved the football well on their first possession.
They did. They came up with that big second down pass that they missed, put themselves off schedule, but they did get 2 first downs in that initial drive.
Ball at the 34-yard line. This time RJ, a loose ball.
Never had the handle. It's going to be Ansonia's football here on a turnover, and Barrett, number 32 for the Chargers, who's going to come away with the fumble.
Well, that would be Sean Thomas.
Sean Thomas. They never had the handle between quarterback and the halfback, Rondini. Look here, he never comes with it. He just doesn't put it into his stomach. He tries to take it with his hands. Last year we showed you on coaching tips that ball has got to be put into the numbers. The back has got to pull it out of the hands of the quarterback. They did not do that. A costly turnover, and the Chargers are in business on the 34.
First down for Ansonia. Sharkey is going to be hemmed in and caught at the line of scrimmage. Bill Panagiotis leading the Shelton tacklers.
Defensive end, I think it's Chevs here, does a good job in forcing the contain right there, number 88. He forces number 25, Sharkey, back inside, and the pursuit was right there. Great pursuit by that front of the Gales, Panagiotis and company, and they drag him down for no gain.
Solder comes in at wide receiver out to the left side. He and Barrett alternate at that wide receiver spot for Ansonia. On 2nd and long, a flag is dropped on the play as Sharkey on a halfback option overthrows the receiver at the 5-yard line. That's Dennis Tinney he was throwing to, but let's await the call.
Tinney was 7 to 10 yards ahead of the secondary as when the ball was pitched out to Sharkey. The corners just flew up, and Sharkey just stopped through the football. But I think the penalty is going to go against Ansonia anyway. The slot man was in motion prior to the snap of the ball. That may be one of the reasons why he was so far ahead of the field. That's a great play by the Chargers, because you just start getting conditioned to this guy coming on the sweep, and all of a sudden he just puts the brakes on, and he can throw the football. We saw that 2 years ago in the championship game, hitting the touchdown pass, but boy, I'll tell you, Tinney was wide open down the field.
Well, the Gales have declined the penalty, and it'll bring up a 3rd down, 3rd and 11 for Ansonia. The football resting at the Shelton 35-yard line.
And that's a great message play for the safeties, because they know that if they fly up, that can happen to them. And you're going to see them a little more concerned about staying back.
Single back offense for Ansonia.
Here comes the screen.
And they screen it over the middle. It is incomplete. It was intended for Clark coming out of the fullback spot.
Fullback just steps up along with the lineman. They let everybody clear and then dump the ball. The ball was overthrown though, as Rich Lester threw it over the hands of Robbie Clark. Lester gets back and then sells the screen pretty well, but he overthrows Clark as the ball is over his head. And it's an incompletion, bringing up a 4th down here for the Chargers.
Decision time for Ansonia. 4th down, and they're going to go for it. Instead of maybe pinning Shelton real deep in their own territory. That is Tinney in motion on the 4th down play. Lester wants to throw and throws long and overthrows his receiver. That was Keith Soldra at the 5-yard line, and the Shelton Gales will take over on downs.
They had him out there. Lester was a little long on the pass, but
is that confidence in your offense?
it's great confidence in your defense, never mind your offense, because you're going to turn the ball over. You got to have great confidence in your defense. Now, they really, if they punt in the end zone, have only picked up 15 yards, so it's not a bad risk, especially being upset or 6-0. If you were scoreless, it might be a situation where you might want to pin them, but that's not a bad decision because you're not really going to pick up that much on the punt.
First down for the Gales. They take over on downs at their 35-yard line. Single back set for the Gales. That is Subkaski, and he gets the call. He's tripped up at the line of scrimmage by Don Plummer, 6'3", 210-pound senior defensive tackle.
Chargers are doing a good job on the fullback as the fullback tries to come inside on the buck trap or the trap. That time they had great penetration. You see number 77 right there for them, who was Don Plummer, who was right on the ground, made the tackle, the senior 6'3", 210-pounder. They're doing a better job with the fullback lead on either the blast or the ISO play. We'll see if they come back to it now.
Subkaski is the lone back in the backfield. And a delayed handoff to Subkaski, but he is taken down again by Plummer.
It takes a long time for that fullback to get to the line of scrimmage, and it allows the linebackers, especially for Ansonia, to react. You see, he sits back there, waits on the counter move. He gets through the initial line, but 77 Plummer just gets back up and makes the tackle, and they picked up about 1.5 yards on it. Again, they're doing well out of the eye set. They're not moving the football with that single back. If you're going to go in that single back, got to challenge and throw a little bit more, and they're not doing that.
Double wing formation for the Gales. 3rd and long, and Field wants to put it up. Rolling, throwing, and it's incomplete at midfield. Intended for Glenn Blanchette.
Defensive end here does a good job for Ansonia, just sliding to the outside, number 83, Fred Pettit, and then forces the throw by Field, and the throw was to the sidelines. Closest receiver there was actually on the sidelines.
So Rondini will be set to punt the football away. Under a minute to go here in the first quarter at Finn Stadium. A flag is dropped on the play. Blanchette's punt is off. And it rolls dead at about the Ansonia 30, and let's await the call. A lot of flags thus far.
Illegal man downfield on a punt. Which I don't understand, since anyone can release. Interior lineman, anybody can go down the field at any point. You don't have to wait. All right, it's an illegal substitution, not an illegal man. Okay? Because the punt team can release at any time. The pros have to wait, but in high school and college, you can release at any point. So it's an illegal substitution, and that's a big one, boy. That is a very big penalty.
Now the football back at the Gale 22, and RJ has to kick it away from inside his 10-yard line. I should say it's a big one.
Remember, the ball went out on the 30.
Low snap.
He's going to have...
And he gets it off on the short kick, and it's just down by the Gales on the far side of the field in the vicinity of the Gales' 35-yard line. Ansonia pick up about 40 yards on that exchange. And tremendous field position.
Boy, that is a big turnover here in this football game as the Gales, a costly penalty, had to repunt. The snap was low. Rondini came up with it and was barely able to get the ball to the 30-yard line. He does not. About the 28, where the Chargers are in business with 17 seconds left to go in this first quarter.
And the football marked at the 29 of Shelton. Ansonia leads it 6-0. I formation at Sharkey for a pair off the left side. Keklik on the tackle for the Gales. That might be the last play of this first quarter. And it is. Our first quarter score, Ansonia 6, Shelton nothing. Welcome back, everyone. Under the lights we are at Finn Stadium. And the lights illuminating this field quite well, buddy.
Excellent, excellent lighting, and it's great for high school football as the Hoosie has gone almost exclusively to lights Friday night.
Speaking about that, before the game they made a special presentation. They dedicated the lights. They had a lot of the Shelton dignitaries on hand, led by the superintendent Tony Pagliaro, and formally dedicated the lights and honored the many volunteers who are responsible for night football here at Finn Stadium. 2nd and 7 for Ansonia as they set up shop to begin the second quarter. Inside, that's Clark, the fullback. And he spins his way closer to first down. Keklik in the secondary on the tackle.
Again, we talk about Clark, great acceleration and balance as he picks up close to 10 yards on that carry. And the more successful that Robbie Clark is, the more successful the Charger offense and Kevin Sharkey will be.
Well, buddy,
especially the way Lester is throwing the football in this first quarter.
Buddy, again, that was the big change offensively for Ansonia from their opener against Holy Cross, and now inserting Clark at the fullback spot. Sharkey inside the 10 to the 5-yard line on the cutback before he's taken down by Rondini. And another first down and a goal-to-go situation.
Sharkey just comes outside, and he is awesome when he puts the football under his arm. He reads and runs extremely well. And that offensive line is doing an outstanding job of opening the holes, especially off tackle to the outside. And that was one of the concerns Ansonia had early this season, was the offensive line.
First and goal at the 4. They're going to pitch it to the bread and butter back. That's Kevin Sharkey. This time he is dragged down. A fine defensive play by the linebacker, Brian Fetty.
Stopped on a play by number 32, Brian Fetty.
Pitch to the outside. Fullback kicks out. Sharkey can't come inside and tries to get out to the outside and is pulled down. About a yard to yard and a half gain. It's 2nd and goal on about the 4.5 yard line. Chargers doing very well moving the football. They've been able to throw enough to keep people honest, and they've been able to certainly run the football with a great deal of success.
Checking in with the play from the sidelines is Carl Barrett. Ansonia goes wishbone. Sharkey down to about the 2-yard line before he's taken down by Chavs at that point.
Sharkey will just follow his fullback and lead back inside. Good surge by that offensive line and excellent contact all along the front to allow Sharkey just to find a little opening, and he's down around the yard, about a yard and a half away from a touchdown. As you can see there, very close on a big 3rd down play for that Shelton defense.
3rd and goal for Ansonia. The quarterback is Lester. Lester rolls, has some open real estate in front of him and throws into the end zone. It is intercepted by the Gales.
Great job by Subkaski and company as he came up with it. The ball was thrown into the hands of the receiver, and it was tipped just before completion. Lester had an opportunity to run as he will outrun the defensive end here on the bootleg. 74 does not contain for Shelton. And then as he comes to the goal line, he throws the ball back a little bit, and it's tipped right here, and Subkaski will come behind and make the reception. That was 21, Alan Keklik with the tip.
And Soldier,
senior co-captain.
Soldier almost making the catch
almost
for
got
Ansonia.
It. Subkaski with a big turnover here at 9:34 of the second quarter.
So let's see what the Shelton Gales do with that turnover. Straight handoff to Subkaski. He is taken down at the line of scrimmage by Duncan Delavopi.
No gain on the play. Brought down
Duncan's one of the young men who has moved from tight end position inside. And he's done a good job early for the Chargers.
2nd and 10, Shelton. From their own 20.
Shelton went back to the eye that time with Rondini carrying the football, but they did not gain more than a half a yard. Big second down play here because they don't want to be in a position to have to throw backed up on their own 21.
Those are the football buddy at the 21 of the Gales. Split backs for the Gales. Loose football.
Having problems on the exchange. That ball never got to Fields' hands. Ball just pops back up out of Dan Fields' hand. Snap takes place, and there is no handling of the football, and it's a great job by number 44.
Bobby Ear, the sophomore buddy,
who covered that mistake, and it brings up a 3rd and long. And as a quarterback, if you're not sure of that center exchange, you've got problems all night.
So 3rd and long for the Gales, pushed back to their 18-yard line. Wide receivers either side of the field as the junior quarterback fades back. It's a screen he sets up. On the far side of the field, it's complete, close to the yardage needed for the first down. Bobby Ayer, the receiver on the screen pass, he's taken down in the secondary by sophomore Jason Tinney.
Barrett makes a great play here, but someone was with the screen. As Field rolls out, Ayer tries to sneak out to the right. You'll see somebody from Ansonia running with him, and then Ayer just turns up the field, and Field makes a great throw. You see Barrett sneaking in there, missed the block, and then does a great job of taking down Bobby Ayer before he gets to the first down, right there.
So RJ is going to have to punt the football away on the 4th and 3. Shelton deep in their own territory, not having and possessing good field position. And he gets it off. It's a high punt coming down to midfield, the 45 rather of Shelton. Kevin Sharkey, as flags fly on the field, Sharkey returns it to the 45-46 of Shelton. And again, let's await the call.
Going to be a clip. No doubt about that one. It'll move them back 15 from that spot. Again, Kevin Wood signaling the clip. As Sharkey broke into the inside, there was a block that'll take place as Sharkey comes up the field. If we can see it right there. And there's another one right there, 26. The one at the top of your picture that freed him up for another 5 yards, but it's going to put Ansonia back around their own 36, 37 yard line, right at the 35 and a half.
Illegal block, making it 1st and 10, Ansonia from their own 36-yard line.
First down for the Chargers at their 36-yard line. 2 wide receivers either side of the field. Out to the right side is Dennis Tinney. And a draw play going to Sharkey, but he's going nowhere. Fetty along with Kroc on the defense for the Gales.
They held a team meeting at that spot because Sharkey had 4 people on him before he even touched the football. Try to come with the draw play to Sharkey. Clark just steps off to the outside, and as Sharkey gets the football, he has got nowhere to go. There's 4 black jerseys right on him. The initial hit came from number 32, who wrapped him up with help, and that's Brian Fetty.
Second down, Lester wants to throw, swings it out to Dennis Tinney, and Tinney gets up to about the 40-yard line before he's taken down by Rob Johnson.
Lester's pass is complete to number
They've got someone shadowing number 25, Kevin Sharkey, and it's a tribute to not only him but Rich Lester that they even completed that pass, because there were people all over him as he tried to roll out of the backfield.
Correction, Kevin Sharkey on the receiving end of Rich Lester's pass. Third down, 3rd and 6, football at the Ansonia 40. Second quarter action. The Chargers lead it 6-0 from here at Finn Stadium in Shelton. And the junior quarterback wants to throw, has good protection, gets it out there and overthrows Dennis Tinney by a whole lot at the 40-yard line. Coverage by Rondini. That'll be a 4th down situation for Ansonia.
making it 4th and 5.
Watch as Sharkey rolls out. There's going to be someone right in his back right there, 24, who plays him, and then they go downfield trying to hit Tinney, but the ball is well overthrown. Dennis has no opportunity to make a catch. Pretty good coverage also by the Gales as Rondini was right in his back pocket.
And Rich Lester is the Ansonia punter. Line of scrimmage is the Ansonia 40-yard line.
that turnover in the end zone may turn out to be a very big play in this football game.
And we've got a timeout on the field. The Gales call it. We'll call a timeout. Ansonia 6, Shelton nothing. Welcome back, everyone. Well, Ansonia is faced with a punting situation here. 4th and 5 at their 40-yard line. Ansonia goes wishbone, obviously to try to draw Shelton offside. And now Lester will back up and he'll punt it away. And Ansonia takes that delay of game penalty.
I don't understand that. I think that was just inability to get the ball off. They don't want to take a penalty there. It's not as if they're inside the 30 and want to get moved back. They're just, if it was an attempt to draw them off, that's why we sit up here, Edward.
Football now at the 36-yard line. And Lester will go back to his 25-yard line. And the junior will get the football off there. Good snap, a long snap for Ansonia. A low punt. That's Keklik. Back for the Gales. Fields the football and pays a price right away as he is knocked down on the far side of the field by Robbie Clark.
He's lucky the ball went out of bounds because when he gets popped, the ball comes out and rolls over the out-of-bounds line. As he picks it up here and tries to go, Clark has got a great angle on him, and he just went right through him, and the ball went out to the far sideline. But it'll put the Shelton Gales in business around the 26-yard line. And they've got to get a little bit of an offense mounted here. Get a touchdown here. They're right in this football game. Is that big turnover in the end zone, I think will play a big part of this game as we go into this second half.
Two wide receivers either side of the field for the Gales as they go into that I formation, and Field wants to put it up on first down. Over the middle, it is incomplete, intended for Keklik. Diving for the football for Ansonia was Dennis Tinney.
This is not a well-conceived or well-thrown ball or play, whatever happened, but the receiver is nowhere near the football. I don't know whether he was trying to get it to the outside or trying to hit the crossing pattern, but neither guy there were very close to reception. Might have been tipped as it came across, which is also a possibility, but not a well-conceived play.
Now in the tailback, John Eason, sophomore running back, as Field goes back to throw, and all over him is that Sean Thomas? Fred Pettit from the other end.
Pettit, the 6'2", 170-pound junior, just goes right through Eason. Field attempts to roll out, and here is the attempted block, and Pettit just goes right by him. And then we'll make the tackle, and big sack for the Chargers. It'll bring the Shelton football team back inside their own 15-yard line. Again, they're not making positive yardage, and they're creating problems as they are being backed up in their own territory. 4:50 left to go in this second quarter. The Gales, unable to get a play in, are forced to take another timeout.
Buddy, that gives me an opportunity to read this special announcement to our viewers, to notify all of our viewers that we're operating with a special high school football schedule, which will be airing on Channel 10B next week. Now, in order to accommodate the showing of both Valley High School games being played this weekend, the following times have been set aside. So if you get your pencil and paper out, Ansonia and Shelton game, here are the air dates for this particular football game. Sunday on the 23rd at 6 p.m., the following day, Monday at 8:30, and Friday the 28th at 7 p.m. Now the Derby Seymour game, here are the air times. Sunday the 23rd at 8:30, following day at 6 p.m., and Tuesday the 25th at 8:30. Now our regular high school football schedule is Sunday at 7 p.m., Mondays at 6, and Friday at 7 p.m., and we'll be returning to that next week, the following week. Field back on 3rd and long, and he is crunched by a few of the Chargers as he tries to throw long. Led by John Pellizzeri, now in on defense for Ansonia.
Field will sit in the pocket steps back up, does not find a receiver, and will take another sack, this time inside the about 11 or 12, as the Chargers are doing an excellent job of backing up that Gale offense, and will have very good field position on this punt by Rondini.
And with 4 minutes and change left here in the first half of play, Rondini in his end zone. End over end, coming to a short man. That's Clark with the football, and Clark returns it inside the 20-yard line.
Great coaching. Robbie Clark just took the short kick and brought it back to the 19. And if you coach, you know it's tough to teach young people whether to catch this or to let it go. And Clark just steps right up. No doubt in his mind as he takes it on the 30, and he'll bring it back down inside the 20 to about the 19. And again, great field position for the Chargers as they go with 3:46 left to go in this second quarter.
I formation, wing to the left side. That's Clark rumbling with the football, and Clark motors to the 5-yard line. Taken down by Rondini and Keklik finally.
Went on a quick count. The Gales were not set, and there was a big hole in the belly hole, off tackle hole outside to the left. Good double team down, and then it just frees Clark into the secondary as he's brought down inside the 5. But an excellent play call. And going on that quick count did not allow the Gales to set, and it's a 1st and goal for the Chargers.
Gales get their goal line defense in there. 1st and goal, the football at the 4. And about some minutes ago, we were in a similar situation for Ansonia. Clark off the left side. Clark, touchdown Ansonia. Robbie Clark, the junior fullback.
Clark again on the same play. He'll just come over the left side. Good down block right there by number 77, Don Plummer. Clark just follows that inside and pulls himself into the end zone for the second touchdown here on the Ansonia Chargers. Drive took less than 40 seconds, and they're in the end zone for that second score.
Well, Buddy, Clark had the presence of mind, the athletic ability to field the punt as the short man. He brought it back in super field position, 2 cracks into the line of scrimmage, and Clark did it all on that short 19-yard drive.
Coach Branca there took his defense over to the sidelines to talk to him, as the Chargers did likewise. They're on the far side talking with head coach Jack Hunt and Bobby Lisi to come up with a 2-point play. The Chargers will come out and put the ball on the far hash and try and convert the 2 points. They are leading 12-0 and have really dominated the first half of football. Their offense has been very consistent and been able to move the ball. They had a turnover in the end zone, which prevented them from being up here 18 or more. And the Gales really have to gather themselves both defensively and offensively in this second half.
Ansonia leads at 12-0. Clark is the lone back in the backfield. Sharkey in motion. Let's see if they get it to Sharkey. Lester looking into the end zone. Incomplete. It was dropped by Carl Barrett, and Carl had it in his hand.
I'm not so sure it was Barrett. This is going to be dropped, I think, by Sharkey, as Barrett was near him, but the ball is going to come in, and I think it's going to be 25. Barrett's coming across, but the throw, I think, is intended for Kevin Sharkey. Right there, Sharkey just misses the football. It goes right through his hands.
That's hard to believe, Sharkey dropping the football. Anyway, as the teams come upfield, 3 minutes and change left here in the first half. Finn Stadium, Ansonia's put up 2 scores. It is 12-0. Ansonia over the Shelton Gales. And as Buddy said, the Shelton Gales are going to have to do something and get a little bit more consistency on their offense. And now would be a good time for Coach Tony Branca's team.
You can't allow Ansonia to control the football because they are going to put points on the board, especially with Sharkey, who has the ability to break it at any time, and with the ability of Clark to run inside and Lester to throw the ball enough to keep you honest. You really have to have some control of the football, and it's tough, you know, when you sit up here and say that's what you have to do, but it's part of football. You've got to keep the ball out of the hands of that offense and be able to control it and also get some points yourself, and the Gales have not been able to do that.
Jamar Kelly, squib kick down to Keklik. Keklik across the 30-yard line. And the Gales will put it in play. Brought down on the special teams by sophomore Jeff Press.
Again, Keklik has gotten the ball at that spot in the 3 previous kicks by the Chargers, and he runs it back to the 35-yard line and 33-yard line, excuse me, and it will be 1st and 10. The Gales do not want a turnover here, so we'll see what they do, whether they attempt to put the ball up or try and stay basic.
And let's see who's in that backfield. They've been shuttling in different players in the backfield. Field on the rollout. Taken down by Pacheco around the football along with Sean Thomas.
Tried to come with the option that time, and Field, rather than pitch the ball, turned it up for about a half a yard loss. You'll see here come down the line. Good job by Thomas as he plays off the blocker, that's Sipkaski, and then just tucks it up inside. Danny Field does, rather than risk the turnover with the pitch.
2nd down, the 32, a mishandled snap from center, and it's just fallen on at that point by Field.
Again, the quarterback-center exchange, very important and crucial. He does not get it. It never got to his hands. Either the center is stepping out too early or the quarterback is not following the center with his hands. But again, a big turnover, and the Chargers are going to take a timeout because they can see getting the football back with pretty good field position again. It's a 3rd and about 13 for the Gales.
Buddy, there was some concern coming to this game on the part of the Gales as to whether their sophomore center, Jeff Piscaneri, would be able to handle Pacheco at nose guard.
Well, I think the question has been answered. He's having trouble because that snap is not getting there. And without that snap, as we said earlier, if the quarterback begins to think about that, there's a problem. It's got to be an automatic thing, and the ability to get the ball from the center and then to make the plays is very important in any offense, and the Gales are having difficulty with it. 1:57 left to go here, and the Chargers will get the ball back. And they probably have developed that excellent 2-minute offense, and we'll see. They're looking for another score, or at least to get close enough to allow their kicker an attempted field goal.
And Lester, we've seen thus far, but he might overthrow his receivers, but he has a cannon for an arm. That's Keklik going in motion on 3rd and long. A flag is dropped.
Left tackle for Shelton.
Dead ball foul.
Prior to the snap of the football, and it's going to move the Gales back 5 more yards. 63 right here is going to give you a little move right there, and that's enough to cost 5 yards. The Gales just have not been able to get themselves together here in this first half.
Football will be marked at the 26-yard line. Just under 2 minutes to go here.
A lot of time left in this first half.
There's your scoreboard. And the clock here at Finn Stadium in Shelton. Under the lights. Cable 10 Sports, our Valley High School football game of the week. 3rd and long for the Gales. Split backs. And Keklik will go in motion. Field looking out to the near sidelines. Gets it out there in and out of the hands of Rondini at about the 35. And RJ had some open real estate in front of him. Dennis Tinney on the coverage for Ansonia.
Tried to get Rondini out of the backfield, and he was wide open. Field just drops, and then we'll throw it to Rondini. He circles out of the backfield, but it was well overthrown. Rondini does a heck of a job just getting his hands on it, but he had a lot of real estate in front of him. Brings up a 4th down situation, and Ansonia's going to get the ball close to midfield after this punt, or should get the ball close to midfield as Rondini is back inside his own 15-yard line.
Back deep for Ansonia, Sharkey along with Dennis Tinney. And the punt sails deep to Kevin Sharkey. Sharkey looking for the wall, does not get it, and is driven back at midfield.
Got to be a face mask on that one.
By a couple of the Gales.
And he's going to get an additional 15 yards for that.
Led by Rob Johnson.
They're going to set up shop around the 35-yard line if this goes against the Shelton Gales, and so far this half everything has been going against the Gales.
Well, Ansonia is moving back, Buddy, which would lead me to believe that it might be marked off against Ansonia, and it's going to be.
Well, it was thrown where a clip, well, okay. It was thrown right into the pile where Sharkey was, and there was no one there except Kevin. someone must have clipped from behind, and that's a plus for the Gales, as obviously now the Ansonia offense has to go 68 yards to get into the end zone with 1:35 left to go here in this first half.
Interesting to see what Ansonia does for the remaining minute and a half here at Finn Stadium. Single back, and they give it to that single back. That's Robbie Clark, who's had an outstanding first half. Panagiotis along with Netavaska on the stop for the Gales.
Clark just comes inside on the trap play and picks up about 2.5, but the Gales are very happy to give him that 2.5, as the time now and the clock are what the Gales are playing against, not really Ansonia. They're just going to contain them and then try and get in at halftime and gather themselves, come back out. They're still in this football game, down only 12-0.
There's the give to the tailback Sharkey, and he's taken down by Fetty and Keklik.
Sharkey comes on the blast following his fullback. And anytime he carries the football, he can go the distance, and that's what Coach Hunt is looking for here, just trying to spring him and allow him to get into the secondary where he can perform his magic. They're third and about 1.5 yards as Ansonia has, or close to that first down, I guess, enough so that they were spotting it. Kevin Wood has held the clock, and the clock will start as soon as the ball is marked, and we're ready to play.
31 for Ansonia.
Speaking about magic, buddy, at halftime, we're going to be entertained by the Ansonia Pom-Pom girls, and the Shelton High School marching band will be putting in an appearance. So we've got a lot of special halftime activities for our viewers. With about 30 seconds remaining, Ansonia is a 3rd and short. The give is to Clark, and it's going to depend upon the spot. Clark slides for about a yard gain. Kleineck and Kroc on the tackle for the Gales, and the clock is stopped. And it is a first down.
Chargers are not hurrying that offense, and the way they've run the last 3 plays look like they're going to be happy to get in at halftime with that 12-0 lead. They're not even going to run another play.
Great crowd here on this night game. Stands on bleachers on both sides of the field completely filled, and standing room around 3/4 of this field. And a delay of game penalty against Ansonia. Apparently some time, few ticks left on that clock in the first half. Ansonia content to just take it in at halftime with this 12-0 lead. They have to run a play at this point. Have to take a snap. Keith Soldra in with the play. Let's see if Lester might wind up. Pressure, Dan Chobbs as Lester rolls and throws it incomplete. That's going to do it. Time has run out here in the first half. We played one half, Finn Stadium in Shelton, our Cable 10 Sports High School football game of the week. Ansonia leads it 12-0. At the center of the field at Finn Stadium in Shelton at halftime, for our halftime activities, the Shelton High School marching band. Let's see if we can get everybody involved, all the units that were involved in this halftime show. Of course, the high school, the Shelton High School Marching Band, along with the majorettes, the color guard, the cheerleaders, and the pom-pom girls. Our halftime score is Ansonia 12, Shelton nothing. Back with the second half kickoff right after these messages. Welcome back, everyone. Second half kickoff coming up. Ansonia will elect to exercise their option here in the second half. They did win the opening coin toss, and they elected to defer that option to the second half, and means one thing, that the Gales will be kicking off to begin the second half. Ansonia leads it by a score of 12-0. Fine night for high school football. Weather's perfect. Perfect ideal temperatures, not a wind to speak of, and a great crowd here at Finn Stadium. On our Cable 10 Sports high school football game of the week. Rondini to kick it off for Shelton, back deep for Ansonia. Kevin Sharkey along with Dennis Tinney. And Gales wisely kick it short. Taken by one of the upmen for Ansonia. Robbie Clark gets his hands on the football, and he establishes some good field position up close to the 40. John Eason on special teams for Shelton on the tackle. There you see John going off the field. John only a sophomore running back. By the way, most of this Shelton team is an underclass team composed mainly of juniors and sophomores. Very few seniors on this Shelton team. Line of scrimmage is the 39 as we get set for second half action. And Ansonia on the pitch out to Sharkey. Tackled by Alan Keklik after Sharkey picks up 2 on the first play from scrimmage.
Toss play to Kevin. Fullback on the lead, and Keklik comes up very well right here from the corner position. Brings Sharkey to the ground, picked up about 2.5 yards. Officials timeout as Robbie Clark has an equipment problem.
Football at the Ansonia 42, just underway. Third quarter action here at Finn Stadium in Shelton. Under the lights. Coming up later this quarter, Coach's Tips with Buddy Chernovitz. I formation for the Chargers. Lester is the quarterback. And the give to the fullback, the up back, Lester. Lester finds the going rough, and Lester maybe picks up 2 on the play to the 44.
Coming over the right guard, as you see, just straight out blocking by the Chargers. Clark tries to get outside. 74 for Shelton did a good job pulling him down. Picks up about 3 yards, brings a 3rd and 6 for the Gales defense as they have to get possession of this football, and they'd like to get pretty good field position out of this.
Split
Try
backs,
and get on the board.
Split backs for the Chargers. Lester winds up and throws downfield as a receiver out there. Caught at the 15-10. Touchdown Ansonia. Dennis Tinney on the receiving end of the bomb from Rich Lester.
Dennis Tinney just ran by Robbie Johnson, the sophomore, 5'9", 145-pounder, and Lester just unleashed about a 45 to 50-yard throw as Dennis Tinney ran under it and into the end zone untouched for a big touchdown here with less than 2 minutes gone in this second half of football as the Chargers strike on a Rich Lester to Dennis Tinney bomb, giving them an 18-0 lead.
And the Chargers will go for the 2-point conversion. About the only thing they haven't been successful in doing thus far. Lester throws into the end zone all alone for the 2 points.
Lester
Fred
just
Pettit,
finds
the tight end.
Pettit all alone in this near corner of the end zone. Again, he throws a strike. Pettit came from the far side across, and usually on that goal line you're in man-to-man, and somebody just left him alone as he just untouched, and the Chargers are 20-0 here early in this second half.
Rich Lester, 6'3", 180-pound junior quarterback, who's really winging the football here this evening.
Great throw by Rich Lester as he was on the money. I wish I had the yardage on that, but that's got to be close to 60 yards. 58 yards on that throw and catch, and he put most of that 58 in the air. Tinney caught it inside the 10, so with the extra 5, he threw the ball about 55 yards. And just when the Gales had done a good job in the first 2, stopping both Robbie Clark and Kevin Sharkey, bringing up a big 3rd down, Lester just steps back and throws a touchdown pass to Dennis Tinney.
End over end kick, Jamar Kelly, and falling down
inside the
10 is Keklik.
7-yard line, and the Gales cannot catch a break. As you see right there, Robbie Clark just patting Alan Keklik and saying, hey, I know how it goes. Some days it just doesn't pay to get up out of bed.
And the Gales pinned deep in their own territory after the 58-yard touchdown pass from Rich Lester to Dennis Tinney. And the subsequent 2-point conversion has brought Ansonia 20 points ahead of Shelton 20-0. Let's see what the Gales can do. Straight handoff and a fine running play. Subkaski, the ball carrier. Sharkey in the secondary for Ansonia on the tackle. An Ansonia player is down on the play.
You see they've got Ayers at fullback, and Subkaski went back to the tailback, and they're just blasting on that off-tackle hole. Pretty good hole there as Subkaski winds his way through for about 8 yards on that first down before he is brought to the ground. Kevin Sharkey in on the tackle along with a host of other Ansonia players. Barrett, number 83, as you see Coach Hunt there. And Barrett is down on the ground. Bobby Lisi also along with him. Or excuse me, it's 83, Fred Pettit. I think it's Fred Pettit from that end position.
It is Pettit. We see the number.
Looks like he just took a pop. It doesn't look like there's any injury to his leg or knee area. And Bobby Lisi with him, getting him up to his feet, and he'll go off. And I would guarantee that he'll be back before the next series is over. See on the replay as the block is made by the tackle, just turning him out. He loses his footing there, and he is pretty good stretch as he is down and now on the sidelines.
2nd and short, and Subkaski, the ball carrier, and Prosnick from his linebacker spot to tackle, but a first down for the Gales as they seek to get some better field position in this 3rd quarter. Down by 3 scores, 20-0. Gales have got to get some consistency offensively.
We're going to get a character check right here with the Gales. This is an important drive for them. They're in danger of really being out of this game if they can't do something. Get some field position at least and a little bit of consistency on offense.
Football at the 20-yard line. Ayer is the fullback, Subkaski the tailback. And Subkaski, the handoff from field, little yardage. Sean Thomas on the stop from his defensive end spot.
Again, Subkaski will just follow the fullback, Ayers, trying to get off tackle. Ayers on a good block there on the defensive end. Robbie Clark. Subkaski tries to duck it back up inside, but the more you run that play, the more consistent the Ansonia is going to become on defense and shutting it down. They've got to do something besides just try and blow them off the line.
2nd down, 2nd and 9. Again, Subkaski off the left side for a pair.
Brought down by number 53,
Mike
Mike Crosby.
Prosnick from his linebacker spot. Mike is a 5'8", 180-pound senior linebacker, of course. Also the offensive center for the Chargers. But most of these Ansonia players, about 8 of them, as a matter of fact, go both ways.
Chargers are not afraid to play what they consider to be their best 11, both on offense and defense. You look down that line of scrimmage, it's a big 3rd and 7 here for the Gale offense.
Football at their 23. Keklik in motion on the 3rd down. The pitch, that is to Subkaski. He slips and falls at the 25. And making sure he stays down is Kelly.
Jamar Kelly did a good job holding his ground. Subkaski lost his footing as he tries to cut back on him, but Jamar Kelly was right there. Good pitch by Danny Field to Subkaski as he turns the corner, air out in front. Right there, Kelly plays off his block on the corner very well. I think that was Keklik on the block. The Gales are just trying to get something that they can get some positive yardage as they're forced to punt here again with 7:12 left to go in this 3rd quarter. Back to the Chargers.
Rondini will kick it away. He's inside his 15-yard line. RJ takes that step, gets it off, comes to the short man. That's Robbie Clark with the good hands, fielding it and dropping to the turf at the 47 of Shelton. Our score is Ansonia 20, Shelton nothing. Back after this. Welcome back, everyone. Well, Ansonia has owned field position for most of this football game. And the junior quarterback wants a bomb away on 1st down as a receiver out there. Incomplete. Kevin Sharkey tried to come back for the pass, unable to do so. Keklik, the defender for the Gales.
Chargers waste no time in trying to get another one as Lester just steps back and Sharkey comes across the field. Has an opportunity to catch it here, but it would be a tough grab as the ball goes away. And I tell you, either Aldo got his hands up or Sharkey lost the football because he usually catches that. We saw him in the end zone, unable to hold it. Maybe the lights and the fact that he just hasn't adjusted to it, but that was a possible catch for him.
Single back set. That fullback is Clark, and under a rush, that's the quarterback, Lester. Dan Chaves, along with Kleinek, leading the charge for the Gales. They sack Rich Lester inside his 40.
If they were running a screen, somebody just forgot to block. You see Chaves come in along with 34 right there, and he is going to drop Lester back for about a 15-yard loss. Never had an opportunity, Rich did, of throwing the football, and someone forgot to block on the corner, on the end, and that blitzing linebacker.
3rd and long for Ansonia inside their 40. Well, they pitch to Sharkey in the halfback option. He throws it wide of the mark, intended for Carl Barrett and Alan Keklik on the coverage for the Gales.
Keklik did a good job as some of the young men are exchanging pleasantries in the center of the field, and the flag has been thrown.
Flag is dropped finally as we see the replay. Sharkey winding up on that halfback option. Remember, Sharkey could throw the football.
Just out of the reach of the intended receiver. But back up at the line of scrimmage, we've got a penalty, and we'll see where it goes. There was a little pushing and shoving inside, both by Ansonia and Shelton. We'll see who gets. Looks like it's going against the Gales.
And the football, the line of scrimmage now, the Gale 46-yard line. Still a 4th down for Ansonia as they get the kicking unit on the field.
That'll take some of the field position away from the Gales, as they would have had the ball somewhere around their own 30. Now they're going to get backed up inside their 20-yard line.
Back deep for the Gales is Rondini. 4th down, Lester is the punter. And he gets it off a low end-over-end punt. It's going to roll dead inside the Shelton 10-yard line. And with the break in the action, well, we're going to go to a replay.
Lester kicks a line drive that is not returned. He gets great yardage on it. as the ball rolls down and will go be marked inside the 10. And again, it just puts Shelton in terrible field position.
So the football at the 9-yard line. The Shelton Gales backed up again, down by 3 scores, 20-0. And seeking to do something positive with that offense. Been a problem thus far for the Gales. High formation, the quarterback is Field, the up back is Ayer, and the tailback who gets the ball is Subkaski. He's tied up on the line of scrimmage by Duncan Delavope.
Delavope was right there, played off the block very well. You'll see he just hog-ties Subkaski before he is able to break the line of scrimmage. Ayer comes through on the block, but again, Subkaski dragged to the ground. Duncan Delavope, an excellent job. And again, the more that defense sees that blast play, the better they're going to be able to react to it. And the Gales have just got to open up their offense a little bit. It's tough where they're backed up. They haven't had the field position, but they've got to give Ansonia a couple different looks to be able to get some first downs.
Wide receivers either side of the field. The pitch. Off the left side. Subkaski again. Sean Thomas on the tackle for Ansonia. And a flag is dropped on the play.
Pitch is made to Subkaski. Again, the fullback just tries to log or kick out. And a great job by 32 playing off that block, Sean Thomas, and then drags Subkaski down for a 5-yard gain. Penalty is going to be marked off against, I think, the Gales again. The way Kevin Wood is facing, it doesn't look good for Shelton. And it's going to be a clip, as you see, Ayer now right there from behind. Number 63, I think it is, just blocking from behind. And poor Shelton is backed up now inside the 10. Back around the 7-yard line with a big 3rd down and about 13 yards to go. And when your offense is not going well, the last thing you want to do is be 3rd and 13 inside your 10.
Keklik out to the right side. 3rd and 12 for the Gales. Backed up at their 6-yard line. And Field wants to put it up. Slips, falls, or was he hammered by one of the Chargers? I think it's a combination. Sean Thomas around the football.
As Field attempted to step up, I think he slipped, and then Sean Thomas just pulled him to the ground. Gets back in his 5-step drop and then loses his footing right there, and Sean Thomas put him down. He was already down before that. His knees were on the ground, and the Gales are just having some serious difficulty in trying to get positive yardage.
RJ in his end zone. Matter of fact, he's close to that end line. And he gets it off.
Not a good punt, to say the least.
It's going to take a Shelton roll, and it's going to roll dead at about the Shelton 32-yard line. And with the break in the action, let's go to our weekly feature, Coach's Tips.
We're back in the training room with Tom Elwell today talking about ankles. Tom, what do we have?
Well, out of all the joints in the body, the ankle has to be taped the most often because there's the least musculature crossing the joint. It's mostly tendinous, and it's tough to rehabilitate the area. So what we do is follow a couple principles. First of all, the ankle joint is more stable in dorsiflexion as opposed to plantar flexion. So we always tape up in dorsiflexion. Second of all, 90% of ankle sprains are inversion sprains where they turn in this way. So what we want to do is pull away from inversion. So the stirrups will go like this, pulling the ankle away from the way that it sprains. Okay, and then we put anchors on and finish up the job. Another good alternative is using an ankle brace, which John has here, and it gives the coaches a break. They don't do any taping and gives a lot of support.
Tom, again, thank you. We'll be back here next week. We'll see you then.
Welcome back, everyone. Well, the Ansonia Chargers have the football at the 31-yard line where the football is marked after the Shelton punt. A little bit of scissors play. That's Kevin Sharkey, 15-10 inside the 10-yard line. Subkaski finally on the tackle on that scissors-type action by the Chargers.
They fake the fullback and just come back with the tailback as Lester opens to Clark, gives him the open hand, and then they get a good block out on the end as Chevs is knocked to the ground by the pulling guard, and it just frees Kevin Sharkey into the secondary, and he'll be knocked out inside the 10 at about the 7-yard line.
Well, the Ansonia Chargers go wishbone, and they give it to Kevin, and he rolls to the right side, outside of contain, close to the end zone. He's in. There is a flag, though, on the play.
I'd be willing to bet the Chargers were not set on that offensive front and that one will be brought back. Pretty positive on that one.
Well, the officials, buddy, you see, talking it over.
They tried to go in a quick count, and I don't think some of the players were going down as the ball was being snapped. We'll see what Kevin Wood and his crew have decided here, but it's going to go either way. We're going to bring it back. I'm wrong on the part of going down because it was a clip. You see coming to the outside Kevin Sharkey, and he has great speed because it doesn't look like he's going to make the corner of the end zone. He just puts it into gear and outruns people and gets himself in for the touchdown. He is a quality football player, can do anything you ask him to do. Sometimes people don't remember he plays defense also. He goes both ways for this football team, but he can do anything, and he has outstanding speed. He is very deceiving, and he can get tough yards inside for you.
1st and goal for Ansonia. Sharkey feeling his way through the center of the line down to the 3-yard line, stacked up there by Dennis Bobby.
Crossbuck again as they go one way to the fullback. Here comes the guard on the pull. Gets Sharkey inside. Oh, the tackle or guard did not hit anyone. He was still there. Didn't really have anybody to hit, and Sharkey goes down inside that 5-yard line to about the 4.5.
2nd down for the Chargers. Wishbone, 2nd and goal at the Shelton 5. The pitch, Sharkey to try to run outside of contain, into the end zone. He is untouched, the 4th Ansonia score.
Same play that he got in before the penalty, or on the penalty. He just is great speed to that corner. Watch the pitch being made, and then it's all Kevin Sharkey. Gets some pretty good blocks. You see Clark there out in front of him, number 29 for the Chargers also with a pretty good block. That's Dennis Tinney. And Sharkey untouched, as Eddie said, into the end zone. 26-0 with 1:58 left to go here in this 3rd quarter.
Oh, at least I get another opportunity to pronounce the young exchange student from Italy. His name, Mauro Frialia. That's how the young man said it to me before the game. And this time, he converts. And Ansonia leads 27-0. Long evening, buddy, for the Gales. No question that offensively they're going to have to move the football. They're going to have to get into that end zone.
Well, it's tough to win if you don't score. Don't have to be a great coach. Figure that one out.
But no, but down the line,
I know what you're saying. We talked about it all night, and we talked about it last week.
Down the line with this team.
They talked about last week. We talked about the quarterback situation. I think Danny Field has done an excellent job. We saw him last week throw the football very well. They just have not been able to run the football, and the basis of that Shelton football team the last couple of years has been, number one, a very strong defense, and number two, the ability to run the football, and especially to run inside the tackles. They do not have that. Subkaski gives them an awful lot. So does the tailback when he's in there. But they really can't make first downs. They have just been unable to make those first downs.
Kelly, who has done a fine job thus far this year kicking off for Ansonia. And we have our play stopped here. Got 1 minute and change left here in the 3rd quarter. Under the lights finds our Cable 10 sports crew this evening and our Valley High School football game of the week. Happy to be sending it along to you. And we have a kickoff infraction against the Chargers, and football now at the Ansonia 35-yard line. And the Chargers will do it again. Kelly again, end over end, down to the 20. And the Shelton runner across. R.J. Rondini across the 35, stopped there by Eric Sturgis on the special teams for Ansonia.
Rondini, who I should have mentioned as the tailback, who's done an excellent job, just takes the ball right up the middle, tries to break through the wedge, but he is wrapped and dragged to the ground right about the 38-yard line, and the Gales are in business here with about 1:35 left to go in this third quarter.
Split backs. RJ has headed it over to the sideline, so we'll set the backfield for you. Bobby Ayer, it looks like, along with Subkaski, as Field airs it out on first down and completes it to the 45-yard line. Jeff Press on the tackle.
Just a quick slant in pattern, and the receiver does a good job as he bobbled it and then gets drilled and held on to the ball for the catch. I think that was Andy Aldo for the Gales. Picked up a good 8 yards for them, and that's something they're going to have to do. That will give them a little bit of an opening inside if they can start hitting that slant pass and throw the football a little.
Gales just outside their 45. That is Keklik in motion. And the give to the tailback. And Rondini, who's checked in, goes nowhere. Jim Fry from his defensive end spot on the stop.
Fry plays off the block and then comes in and makes a great tackle. Loss of about 3 for the Gales, and just as they have a 2nd and short, now they're backed up to a 3rd and 5, unable to make positive yardage on that 2nd and short yardage situation.
And you see some of the crowd along the fence here on the field level at Finn Stadium. Buddy, Coach Hunt has gotten in some of his backup players on defense with the 27-0 lead, able to do it. Jason Tinney now in at one of the defensive secondary spots. Jeff Press in at linebacker. Eric Sturgis in at monster back on the 3rd down situation for the Gales. As Field wants to put it up, it's a wobbling pass and incomplete, intended for Rondini, surrounded by white shirts, led by Jason Tinney.
Tinney had an opportunity to catch that one and go the distance. The ball wobbles as Danny Field tries to get rid of it. He really does not throw the ball very well, and it is short. As the ball goes up, it is tipped there, and Tinney had an opportunity to catch it and go the distance, but a good coverage on the part of the Ansonia Chargers.
By the way, Jason Tinney, the cousin of Dennis Tinney. We play 3 quarters here at Finn Stadium. Our score, Ansonia 27, the Gales nothing. Welcome back, everyone. Start of the 4th quarter here. Dan Field was shaken up on the last play, and he's at least walking off the field under his own power. Dan, a junior quarterback for the Gales. 4th down upcoming for the Gales, a night of frustration as Ansonia has a 27-0 lead. And the line of scrimmage, the 44-yard line of the Gales. Well, the Gales are apparently going to go for it on 4th down from their 44. And Rondini directing the attack, pitches out. That's Bobby Ayer, and he is stuck, and I do not believe he made the first down on the far sidelines. I believe Ansonia will take over on downs. Dennis Tinney up on the initial hit.
Tinney just outruns the pitch. Rondini comes, and they attempt to run the option to the outside. Looks as if the corner is there, but Ayer is just as outrun as Tinney just catches him with his speed and knocks him down before he's able to make the first down. And the Ansonia offense now on the 46-yard line is in excellent field position as Shelton unable to convert on a big 4th and 7.
First down, a little bit of scissors action for the Chargers. It is not going anywhere, though. And stacking up to play, Brian Fetty. Stacking up Dennis Tinney.
Fetty is there on the scissors. They come to the fullback on the fake, and here comes the slot man back. Fetty read it very well. Unable to make that block, trap block, and 72 for the Ansonia Chargers is down here, and looks like a leg cramp the way Bobby Lisi has that leg.
Buddy, this reminder, too, that we'll be awarding the Fitzpatrick's Player of the Game award. We'll make that presentation at the conclusion of the game. This will give me an opportunity to notify our viewers of the special high school football schedule, which will be airing on Channel 10B next week. Now, in order to accommodate the showing of both Valley High School games being played this weekend, here are the following times that have been set aside. First of all, Ansonia at Shelton, Sunday, the 23rd, 6 p.m. The following day, Monday at 8:30, and Friday, the 28th of September, 7 p.m. Derby Seymour game, Sunday the 23rd at 8:30 p.m. Following day, Monday at 6 p.m. and Tuesday, the 25th of September at 8:30. Now, the regular high school football schedule, as you all know by now, is Sunday at 7 p.m., Monday at 6 p.m., and Fridays at 7 p.m., and we'll be returning to this schedule the week of September the 30th.
Still out there working on the leg. Fluids are important to replace, especially when it's a warm night, and obviously leg cramps are a result of that.
Buddy, greetings will be sent along right now from both of us to former head football coach of Ansonia and former director of athletics. I heard from him this past week, had a great phone conversation with Coach Charles Boots Jarvis, and he's a regular viewer of our telecast, and I'm sure that the former coach of Ansonia, well known and respected throughout the whole state of Connecticut, is enjoying particularly this telecast.
He certainly is, and he's a great gentleman, and we hope that he gets enjoyment out of watching football. He has tremendous knowledge of the game, and we know has been a follower of high school football for a lot of years and a supporter of high school football, and especially the Chargers.
And of course, suitably so, the Ansonia Field was renamed several years ago in honor of the former coach, Charles Boots Jarvis. Jarvis Field up in Ansonia. Buddy, and also a good opportunity to give our thanks in the booth here at Shelton. A big assist from an injured player for the Shelton Gales and younger brother of Glenn Blanchette. Glenn, of course, the tight end for the Shelton Gales, and we're being assisted in the booth by a fine gentleman himself and an excellent spotter for us, and we expect some good things on the gridiron down the road, talking about Jeff Blanchette, sophomore player for the Shelton Gales.
There you see a number of the Chargers assisting off to the field. Number 72 for Ansonia, who suffered those leg cramps, and that is Duncan Della Volpe.
And chances are the replacing Duncan Della Volpe in the scheme of things will be younger brother of Keith Soldra, Craig Soldra. Second down for Ansonia, 2nd and 11. And Lester's pass is batted down at the line of scrimmage. Dan Chobbs bats down Lester's pass.
As Lester comes out to unload that football, Chobbs gets his hands up, just bats it to the ground. Good job by number 88 defensive end Dan Chobbs, the junior, 5'9", 166-pounder. The way he got up, he may be playing basketball in the winter time because he had great elevation that time.
3rd and 11 for Ansonia to football at the 48 of Shelton. Lester, the junior bomber, back to throw. Incomplete. Carl Barrett, the intended receiver, and Aldo on the coverage for the Gales. Carl Barrett, of course, Buddy, on the receiving end of Lester's first touchdown pass this evening.
Lester sets very well and then unloads. The ball is going to be overthrown, though, and Barrett does not have an opportunity to catch it. Brings up a 4th and punting situation. A lot of time left here in this 4th quarter. Shelton Gales would like to get something going, move that football and get some first downs. They really, after that initial drive, have done very little on the ground against the Chargers.
Keklik back, a lone formation for the Gales. And Lester gets it off, a high punt. And it's going to roll dead on the far side of the field. Kicked out of bounds at that point by Robbie Clark. And the Gales will go on the offense. And a reminder to our viewers at the conclusion of the game, the presentation of the Fitzpatrick's Player of the Game Award. Buddy, we've got a lot of players at this point in white shirts to consider. Ten minutes and change left in this football game. 27-0. The Chargers out on top. But the lack of any offensive consistency, the number one problem facing the Gales at this point. Split backs. And Rondini, the quarterback, and RJ gets it up to the 25-yard line. Prosnick on the tackle for Ansonia.
Rondini comes down the line on the lead option. Ayers leading for him as a fullback, and then Rondini does a good job picking his way for about 5. That may be one of the things that the Shelton Gales are going to look at, is the running that Rondini will give them from that quarterback position.
Well, Dan Field on the last Shelton possession was shaken off, and was shaken up rather, and he's on the sidelines now. Subkaski for maybe a first down, or if not, very close to it. 64, Steve Bodak now in defensively for Ansonia on the tackle.
Subkaski will just come over the tackle spot with the fullback leaning on the blast, and he will pick up a first down for the Gales. Excellent run. Rondini at quarterback now, and he offers that running from that quarterback spot, which may help open up a little bit of that defense.
That's Subkaski, the tailback. Stopped by Sean Thomas after a pickup of a pair. Bobby Ayer is the fullback, and Subkaski the tailback in the offensive set, and Rondini is doing the quarterbacking.
Again, just the blast play. Thomas gets a piece of him as Subkaski gets to the line, but he still picks up about 2 yards. Gales are not a throwing football team. It's obvious because they're in a situation being down by 27. Well, they should be pumping it up there every play.
Second down, RJ slides on the option, takes it himself, and close to the 35-yard line. Senior quarterback, Mike Prosnick, on the stop for the Ansonia Chargers. Third and 7 for the Gales. Football marked at their 35. Glenn Blanchett sets up tight end to the left side. RJ back to throw. Now running the football, taken down by Plummer. An outstanding defensive play by Plummer. He's gone both ways for Ansonia. An outstanding game.
Rondini will go looking to throw the football and then decides to try and duck back up inside and just runs into a stone wall. Plummer was there along with help from the defensive end, Fry, and they drag him to the ground, and it brings up a 4th and 11 situation for the Gales. Another punt situation.
Fourth down, and RJ to punt it away, and he's been very active punting the football. A loose ball falling on the fair catch by Clark.
Rondini has gotten a workout at punting this tonight. He just gets the ball down the field. Fair catch signaled by Robbie Clark. Brings it in. He loses it there, but covers it immediately, and the Chargers will set up shop at the 42-yard line.
And Chavs was all over him to make sure he stayed down at that point. Ansonia goes to the wishbone. Just going to run out some clock as we have some younger players in there right now on a first down carry. Mark Subkaski along with Billy Panagiotis on the stop for Shelton.
Just a pitch out of the bone with the 2 lead backs coming out, Tinney and Clark. Chavs has a piece of him, and then right there, Alan Keckler gets him to the ground, drags him to the ground along with Panagiotis. lost about 2 yards, but with 7 minutes left to go here, all the Chargers are interested in doing is watch that clock run.
Well, the Chargers still have that first team backfield in there. That is Tinney, and he's going nowhere. Kleinek along with Nicholas on the tackle for the Gales. A lot of negative yardage in this football game, buddy.
Both ways.
And both Ansonia and Shelton, as you can expect, they're going to make some wholesale changes down the stretch of this football game. 3rd and long for Ansonia. Football at the 38. We're in the 4th quarter, and Ansonia has it 27-0. That is the young Tinney, Jason Tinney, on a draw play. Brian Fetty ties him up after a pickup of a pair, and it'll be 4th and long for Ansonia in a kicking situation.
4th and 10 for Ansonia from their own 42-yard line. Lester in confirmation for Ansonia, Texas deep for Shelton.
Rich Lester will be punting the football away, standing at his 32-yard line. And he gets it off. He drills it. Keklik on the other end, and he's taken down immediately. Dennis Tinney.
Keklik will catch the football. 29, Dennis Tinney just breaks down and will drag him to the ground before he's able to get started. The Gales will begin at about the 31-yard line.
Timeout on the field. Time in for this. Welcome back, everyone. The Gales have the football just outside their 30-yard line. Let's set that backfield for you. Field in again at quarterback, and he swings it out to the left side. Goes incomplete. Intended for Billy Dean coming out of the backfield.
This is just a very poorly thrown pass as Field just tries to hit Dean. He's wide open, and he just leads him a little too far. It's just been the story of the night for the Gales. They have just been unable to get together with their backs in the holes, the linemen blocking, the quarterback throwing, and just have had a terrible night on offense. Struggling again to just be able to get some first downs.
Rob Darby is out to the left side. In motion, that is R.J. Rondini. And Dan wants to put it up on 2nd down. Under a rush, gets it out. Complete to the 30, 35, 40-yard line for the Gale first down. Billy Dean on the reception, and he rambles for the Shelton first down before he is taken down by Sean Thomas.
They send motion and then come back to the near side with a screen pass. You saw Dean there colliding with the defensive end, and then breaks to the outside and does a good job running the football down around the 45-yard line before he's wrapped up right here by number 32 from the backside end, Sean Thomas.
First down for the Gales at the 45. There is Thomas zeroing in on Field. He gets it off, incomplete, far sidelines.
Danny Field
intended for Aldo. Excuse me, buddy.
Danny Field did a good job, Eddie, and just getting that one off. As you say, Sean Thomas from the backside. Look at Thomas in a sprint now.
You know, you commented last year on his quickness.
He has excellent speed, and he gives you a great pursuit, but also he plays pretty tough when it's coming at him and runs Field down just as he unloads the football.
I noticed that cast he's been wearing, and I'd say about the middle of summer, the Ansonia coaches were skeptical that Sean Thomas would be playing any football at this time of the year. Field rolls out on 2nd down. It is picked off. 45, midfield, and into Shelton territory. Jeff Press, and he's one of the sophomore players that Coach Hunt is so high on. Allows Ansonia to spell some of their starting linebackers. Jeff Press on the interception.
There's a flag out there. We'll see what it is, but Press just took that down with one hand and then took off, crossing midfield and coming down into the Gales 44-yard line where the Chargers will set up shop depending upon the penalty.
Buddy, While we have the opportunity, always like to thank, in addition to the head football coaches from both teams for their cooperation during the week, the director of athletics from both schools, for Ansonia, Sean Supp, and for the Shelton Gales, Jim Benanto. We've been accommodated quite well here at the Shelton in the press box here at Finn Stadium.
We'll see a roughing the passer after the ball is released, and that's going to give Shelton the ball. The ball is thrown and we don't get it, but there is a roughing the passer. Look at that reception there by Press, or interception, as he just reaches up, pulls it down, and brings the ball across midfield. And there was another penalty that was thrown there. That couldn't have been roughing the passer.
So that wipes out Press's interception. And the Gales have it at the Ansonia 40-yard line. 4 minutes change left here in this football game. Ansonia leads it 27-0. Single back offense for the Gales. Dan Field under pressure, gets it off. A whole lot of Ansonia Chargers going for that football. Rondini, the intended receiver. Carl Barrett almost came down with that football. An outstanding game for Carl Barrett.
Jeff Press was there also, as he just throws it. Danny Field throws it up into coverage. Great pressure by Sean Thomas and company, and there it's just tipped. Press was there, and Barrett came and took it away from Press. They had the best shot at the reception. Rondini was third choice on that one. The Gales first or second down now on that 40-yard line, and would like to get in the end zone here, at least to get something on the board against the Chargers.
Second down. Dave Peterson, one of the wide receivers, finally was set. Pass is thrown downfield. Incomplete. Eric Sturgis. Sturgis on the coverage for Ansonia. Peterson, 26. There you see in your picture the intended receiver.
Again, the Chargers got a better shot at catching this one than the Gale receiver, as there's another penalty flag down right here. Coming right in was Eric Sturgis, the senior 5'11", 165-pounder. We'll see what this penalty is, as Kevin Wood is signaling. Well, they threw a flag and they marked no yardage, so we'll have to assume that they picked it up. They refused it. It was against the Shelton Gales, and Ansonia just refused it.
Third down coming up for the Gales. Field back to throw. Downfield, winds up, throws. Incomplete at the 10-yard line. Dennis Tinney on the hit.
Ball is intended for Aldo, as Danny Field sets up in the pocket. Makes a good throw on this one. Barrett comes over from the safety position along with Tinney on coverage, but right in between here, and ooh, that's a little bit early on part of Dennis Tinney. No flag. He gets away with one there, and that's why Aldo did not hold on to it.
But if you'll recall, Dennis Tinney.
Watch now on this one as Tinney goes over the back, and here's contact long before the ball gets there. And Barrett was in his face, but the ball was dropped, and the ball was dropped because Dennis Tinney got there early and got away.
Fourth down, pressure on Field. And guess who? Sean Thomas all over him. Field unloads, incompleted pass. And Ansonia will take over on downs.
Thomas
Tremendous
gets
pressure
out of the blocks, and Danny has no place to go, and he throws it away.
But if you'll recall, Dennis Tinney on our kickoff show, when I asked him about offense, defense preference, he said he gave the nod to defense. He likes to hit. He's not too shabby on offense either.
Not too shabby either side of the football, as he delivers a blow, and he can run with it also, run with that football.
He can also catch the football. They haven't thrown to him that thus far this season. I suspect that they will. Alan Keklik on the tackle of Jason Tinney, cousin of Dennis Tinney, as we run things out here at the Shelton's Finn Stadium.
Just bowling ahead is Tinney is wrapped up in the backfield by Keklik, coming in from his cornerback position on a blitz.
Buddy, we have a new quarterback in there directing the attack for Ansonia, number 14. Brother of Big John Pacheco. This is David Pacheco, sophomore quarterback, 5'10", 162-pound sophomore. Straight handoff on second down. Leon Sylvester defensively on the stop. Jimmy Fry now in the offensive backfield in at fullback.
Fry is going to get stood up right at the line of scrimmage. No place to go. But watch him now. He just doesn't go down. They got about 5 on him, and he will not go down. Just drops the football, goes back to the huddle. You got to like the Chargers. They talked about having problems rebuilding their offensive front. They've done a good job with that offensive line, making some movements from different positions, and have come out here and put 27 points on the board in a very tough football game.
Jason Tinney outside down the 40-yard line, down to the 30, and he breaks free, but he might have stepped out of bounds as young Jason Tinney scampers into the end zone. I believe he went out of bounds at about the 40 of Shelton. That's what they're going to rule.
He's going to give himself a touchdown. That's a heck of a run as he comes down the far sidelines right in front of the Ansonia bench. He'll step out, but he does get the first down. Just takes the pitch and gets to the sidelines, and he's got breakaway speed also as he comes to the corner, and now he's just going to tightrope that sideline. Be difficult to see where he did step out, but he does a good job. Now he'll cut back in here as he breaks the last tackle, and he'll end up in the end zone with what he considers a touchdown, but an excellent run, and he'll be back to see if he can get it in there.
Now the football marked at the 42 of Shelton. That's where Jason Tinney went out of bounds. Fry, who as last year we saw in mop-up roles from the fullback spot, did some fine running last year. Matt Lima in at linebacker on the tackle, along with the middle guard now, Ray Sawyer.
Fry will just come off the guard with the fullback pop. We saw Robbie Clark make good yardage on that all night, and Fry does likewise as he picks up about 6 yards before he's wrestled to the ground.
Buddy, let me remind our viewers of the opponents of both these schools next weekend. Shelton Gales will be in action again under the lights at the Finn Stadium. They'll be taking on Housatonic League rival East Haven. Ansonia will be at home to Kennedy Eagles in Naugatuck Valley League action. We run things down here.
Another penalty, Eddie, with 1:05 coming in on that one. Again, the pitch out.
Jason Tinney and Frank Nedovatska on the tackle.
There's the flag that comes in as Tinney picks up what would be close to a first down. With the way the Chargers are moving backward, it's going to be against them. Danny Fields done a creditable job at quarterback. He has not had a lot of support. Certainly had 2 tough weeks at that quarterback position.
And already, buddy, up here in the booth, we're getting some comments about our Fitzpatrick's player of the game, and we're going to have to arrive at some kind of consensus. It's going to be tough on the Ansonia side because a lot of outstanding performers. As the Chargers will go 2 up on the season, the Gales will go 0-2. Under a minute to go here. Jason Tinney running the football. Putting on the moves. 30-yard line, 20-yard line. 10. Does he run out of gas? Does he get in? He scores. Jason Tinney.
You got to like that young man at a back position as he's done some great running here in this series. He just runs away from people.
And he gets a lift, a literal lift from Craig Soldra.
He's going to have a future in that backfield as he goes right up inside and then just weaves and bobs and then makes some good cuts. Right there, he outruns a tackle on Keklik and then just cuts back here out of the arms of another tackle and will end up in the end zone for another 6 points for the Chargers, and they're 33-0. 32 seconds left to go, and they have really dominated this football game as Coach Hunt can take a moment to relax as his football team is put on a display here, shutting out the Gales and being able to put 33 and possibly more points up on the board as they go for 2 here.
Rob Johnson was that last Shelton defender that Tinney had to beat. Getting into the end zone. Number 48 for Ansonia. Ryan Baraga in at running back, tacking on another 2 for the Chargers.
Just a little pitch out and running right up and through people is number 48 for the Ansonia Chargers. And he gets the 2-point conversion. That's Ryan Baraga, a junior 5'7", listed as a running back and a defensive back, 140 pounds. And the Chargers just keep running him in there.
Well, this gives me an opportunity, Buddy, to remind our viewers that today's coverage of the high school football game of the week is a presentation of Cable 10 Sports, Valley Cablevision Incorporated. It is intended solely for the viewing enjoyment of Valley Cablevision subscribers. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of Valley Cablevision is prohibited. If you would have told me coming into this football game it's Ansonia 35 points better than Shelton, I would not have believed you. On the return for the Shelton Gales, R.J. Rondini, brought down by Parrish Edwards for the Chargers.
That first group for Shelton is still in there on the return as Rondini weaves and bobs his way back to close to the 40-yard line on that return before he is roped to the ground or dragged to the ground by Barrett. You see the clock winding down, and it's pretty close to being over here at Finn Field.
First down for the Gales. Seconds remain in the game as the field rolls out, throws downfield. And that's it. Time has run down. Our final score, Ansonia 35, the Shelton Gales nothing. We will be back with our presentation of the after these messages. Once again, our final score, Ansonia 35, Shelton nothing. On behalf of Buddy Chernovitz, Ed Clements, good night, everyone.